it's that six-a-side segment. Probably our favourite part of the show, I'd say, chaps. Or growing to love it. Don't know if the people do, but we certainly love it.
We love doing it.
But this week we decided that we wanted to do the sort of flashiest / most skillful, the tricksters of the team. I think flashy was a bit of a underpass that you could maybe try and find someone else. So let's be honest, we haven't had the most tricksters in the world. I mean, I feel some positions were easy, other positions nightmare. But I'll open proceedings. I actually picked someone that I've already picked, and sadly enough, I picked this goalkeeper for the worst team. The worst keeper to have played for Spurs, and now I'm picking him for the most flash. I just think Gomez had things for him. Aurelio Gomez had his super long throw that he would love to try and do. It was just a bit needless. He wore a gum shield. I know that should make him a bit tougher, but to me that made him a bit more flash. I don't want to get hurt. I'm a bit silly. Knocking people out, one punch specialist. If he was a boxer, you'd find him exciting. I put Gomez down. Plus he's Brazilian. I don't know. I thought that added to it. So in my head, he was the one. So that's what I've gone for. Ollie, what did you go for?
So I've actually gone for Paul Robinson. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because I was luckily at the game where he scored against Watford. So he gets extra flash points for scoring a goal, albeit very inadvertently. And albeit I actually didn't see it at all because I was talking to my dad because it was a goal kick. No one's watching a goal kick, Paul. But yeah, he scored, and yeah, so that's what gets him into my flashiest team.
Robbo.
Well, this might be a first for us where we've all gone for someone completely different.
Okay.
I've gone for our current goalkeeper in Hugo Lloris, in that I don't think he's very good at it, but he does try to turn people in the box. I believe he did it against Danny Ings last year and lost the ball.
World Cup final.
And he's just, as well. So he's not very good at it, but I believe that he tries to be the best with his feet and chop and turn people when he shouldn't. So we're going to have to take a vote, boys.
Go on, Ollie. You go first.
I'm going to have to go for Gomez, I think. Because Lloris has tried and failed too many times to be classed as skillful or tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Lloris though, because I think like you say, he tries it. But if you're thinking who's the most modern goalkeeper, I guess, and modern goalkeepers use their feet more and by that are more flash, I guess.
He hasn't scored though, Jez, has he?
He hasn't scored, but the mere fact the man's name is Paul Robinson, who kind of takes my plans for Tricksters. I just feel like he can't be there. But go on, Pete, you're deciding vote.
Oh, I don't really want to put him in. But I think you've swayed it by telling me how boring Paul Robinson is. So I'm going for Gomez. I'm going for Gomez, Going for Gomez.
No! I thought I had it.
No, mate, it'd have been two. We didn't have to go around again. It'd have been 2 points each. Because we all went for different ones.
True.
Gomez makes it. Come on.
How's he got in the worst team and the flashiest team?
There's something to it.
It says a lot about goalkeepers, doesn't it?
That is it, yeah. I think to be a goalkeeper, it's probably quite hard to be flash. Although, I mean, Edison, obviously, maybe the exception to the rule, because I feel like he could come out and bust some stuff out and so on.
Yeah, he could play up front, couldn't he? No problem.
Go on then, Jez, let's hear your two defenders.
Okay, so the first one, and I found it hard because I think defenders, tricksy defenders was difficult, especially for us, because over the years, you can't say we've had too many, pretty much any flash fullbacks, especially centre-halves. We haven't really had too many technically gifted centre-halves. Take away, I mean, Leddy's decent. I mean, Jan and Toby, but are they particularly flash? Maybe not. Toby I thought about just because he's got a bit of a cool haircut. But that's not really it. Again, I was looking for a loophole. But I went
That was last week.
Yeah, exactly. I went for Benoit Asuakotu as my first one for his one trick. I'm going to play it down the line. No, I've chopped inside it. Absolute genius of a fullback. And I love Benny because he just openly didn't like football, which I thought was quality. And then the second player I went for, I struggled, but I've gone for 1/4. And maybe similar to sort of Lloris in terms of not necessarily very good at it, but he is over the top calm. And I'm pretty sure I've seen him try and flick it over a couple strikers' heads. and be a little bit flash. So I went for 1-4 as my other most skillful, tricksy sort of FIFA kid playing, trying to do elbows and tricks all day. Players. Ollie, where'd you stand? Where'd you go for?
Good choice, Jez, I have to say. I've also gone for Benoit Aswakotto, purely for the hair and that infamous chop. The chop that was going to play it down the line, and now we're coming inside. But I've also I've loosely used the word flash in that I've gone for YP Lee, being the fact that he was a right-footed left back.
Lee Young Pyo.
Lee Young Pyo, yeah.
Lee Young Pyo.
And yeah, he was a right-footed left back. He was actually quite good, and he was quite good on the ball from what I remember. So yeah, YP Lee is snuck into my flashiest defence of the six-a-side.
Well, boys, the chop has made it into the team. Benoit Aswakotto gets 3 votes.
And that's a first, isn't it?
Get that.
That's a full house.
The trifecta.
I think we had a couple. We might have had a couple in the first week. Do we have a couple of full houses? Gomez was a full house. I thought Fazio was a full house as well.
I think so.
In the worst team. Go back and check it out, boys and girls. Watch it back. See who's right on that one.
I'm not sure I picked Fazio, but okay.
What we'll do, Pete, is at the end of the season, we'll have a squad of legends who have had 3 votes each, and that will be the Spurs all-time squad, and that's what we're building. That is what we're building, and they'll each get an armband. One will say ugly, one will say ugly. Be perfect. That's what we'll go for.
And I've gone for Jan. Just you were saying about being on the ball, and I just thought he was so good on the ball. And I remember him turning players and just reading the game. Well, I understand what he may not make it in, but like you said, I found it really hard to think of any defenders to get in there. So yeah, who's going to play with Benny?
Yeah, well, we're going to a vote. I'm taken by Lee Young Pyo.
I'm more than happy to put in Lee Young Pyo because I just don't know how many other teams he's going to get into. So let's put him in.
I'll tell you my big reason why I think he's the flashiest and could be the trick. It's not that he's a trickster. I'm pretty sure his name got put down in every single form, didn't it? Like in different times, and that's flash, isn't it? I'm Lee Young Pyo today. No, Pyo Lee you. It just changed every game. So that's a flash man. If ever I've seen one, I'm up to him. In my head now, all I can see is him doing step overs and going down the line, but I don't really think he ever did that.
Every week he did that, Jez, as far as I'm aware.
I seem to remember him just being really industrious and not very flash at all, and somehow he's made it in. So,
but he was a right-footed left back. It's unheard of.
Absolute baller from what I remember. Proper flash.
He was. He loved to dribble.
Right. Midfielders, Jerry.
Go into the midfield. I found this one easy. Well, easiest in terms of I could think of a load.
Yeah.
But difficult to pick. So I ended up with 3. I ended up with 4. And if you don't mind, I'll say the 4 boys and then I'll tell you the 2 I picked. So the 4 I had down was 1 current player in Tanguy. I had Ginola. I had Paul Gascoigne. And I had Stefan Dalmat. Absolutely loving a trick, Stefan. And so for flashiest and biggest tricksters, I actually ended up going for Ginola and Dalmat. Not saying that like Gaza and Tanguy, it's hard to say they're better. Ginola's obviously fantastic. Stefan Dalmat's not of the caliber. But they may be better at tricks, probably. But I actually went for these 2 because I thought in terms of the whole aura as well, like Ginola and then Dalmat as well, to me. I'm a flash.
Stefan Dalmat came with the tagline, the poor man's Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah, exactly. And he come in and he could have done a few step overs first game. I think we thought he was pretty decent. This guy's going to have it. And then he absolutely fell off the train. But in the moments when I've seen him play, I was like, yeah, you're flash to the point of like probably killing how you actually play. So I've gone for Dalmat and David Ginola because, David Ginola just, je ne sais quoi, like, I absolutely loved him. Sexy footballer. He never made it, by the way, until our...
Well, I know. I did think about that afterwards. He should have made it.
Oh, that's bad. That is bad. I mean, Ollie fucking put Michael Dawson in there at one point, and we didn't even put Ginola in the team. That is
He's
mad.
a centre back, isn't he? He's not a midfielder, Jez.
Ollie, on to you, mate. On to you.
So I actually thought we'd all go for the same two players, but we've not, because Jez has not said either of the players I put in my team, and I thought they were absolutely nailed on. Anyway,
I reckon I've got one of them.
Adel Tarabt being one.
Oh,
not that he was actually a good footballer, but he was unbelievably with tricky nutmegs, that sort of stuff. And I've also gone for Kevin Prince Boateng as well. So I remember him being an unbelievable trickster as well. So I've just gone for pure tricks in this one. And Ndombele is a good shout, to be fair. I had sort of forgotten about Ndombele a little bit in that sense. But yeah, I remember Adel Tarabt being and Boateng to the same degree, thinking they were going to be unbelievable because they were really good on the ball and they weren't actually that good.
Tarabt, to be fair, Tarabt is class.
He's a proper skiller as well, to be fair. I mean, that QPR season?
Yeah. He
monster.
Redknapp liked him, didn't he? To me, that's a massive shout. I should have thought of him. Sorry, Pete. On to you, mate.
Well, I did go for. I'm going to hold you up my team just to prove that I did put Tarabt and Tanguy.
I've seen the striker.
Nice.
Tarabt and sorry guys. Tarabt and Tanguy. I went
obvious,
for.
By the way.
Yeah, I think Tanguy.
Yeah, Tanguy.
I didn't think I had Stefan Dalmat was in my head, but I couldn't remember him well enough to put him in. Ginola was in my head and Gazza was in my head as well. I also thought of Kevin. I basically thought of everyone, but I went for Tarabt and Tanguy. I think, and I think that gets Tarabt straight in.
Yeah.
So we need to vote.
So, Ollie, who was yours? Sorry, Boateng.
I had Kevin Prince Boateng. Well, yeah. So that's my another choice.
I'd like to go first. I'm going to go with Ginola because I think it's such a travesty that he didn't make it into the best looking team, so he has to go into this most skillful, I think.
Yeah, that is bad. That is actually so bad. Can we amend them, or is that not allowed?
No amendments.
Oh,
go on, Jez.
Fair enough. I'll go Tanguy. I think Boateng, I describe him as flash. I wouldn't say he's necessarily the most tricksy, but massive shout out to Rapt, Ollie, because that he should have been getting 3 points. He should have been in the squad of legends. And I apologise for that.
I actually don't know. I'm going to go Tanguy, I think he is the skiller for me because he just loves it, doesn't he? A simple pass, he'll do a back heel for no reason, which kind of gets the point, isn't it, I suppose?
Ginola is probably he's probably described more as smooth. He has got tricks, very technically gifted footballer.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but would I say he's necessarily too flash? Not as flash as Tanguy, like you say, who loves it, who absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
But
David, if you're watching, we'll find a way to get you into one of the teams. I promise.
Absolutely, and he's a massive fan of the pod. Unlike hideous Danny Murphy.
Danny bloody Murphy.
I'd say he's getting nowhere near this. He's never done a trick in his life. Danny Murphy. Flash, absolutely not. Poor Danny Murphy sitting there with his sweater vest on.
He's never done a trick in his life.
Strikers.
The biggest trick, Jerry, the biggest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he wasn't real. Danny Murphy.
Maybe you're right, Peter. Maybe if we were thinking tricksters as in pranksters, Danny Murphy had all our pants down, didn't he, to get into that? So maybe it's a good shout. Pete, you've given the game away, haven't you? I think we've probably all gone with the same guy. Berbatov.
It's got to be Berber, innit?
Into the team of legends he goes.
Oh, get me. Sign it off. Just
Trips.
Amazing to watch. It's one of those players that's just so easy. It makes you jealous. I mean, when I play, I'm 100 miles an hour, and I need to be. If I calm down a bit, I'm probably not going to play very well. But Berbatov, he was in first gear, didn't he? Always used to put his hand on someone's chest and be like, "No, I'm keeping it. I'm going to keep it." And he's just unreal. I didn't really. There are other tricksy strikers. I mean, for me, Keane was a bit of a genius. But would I say he was necessarily trickster and flash? No, I just think he was like a professor. Just really legend in his craft. And
Teddy Sheringham style.
Sheringham, that's someone else I thought of. Again, I put him, like you say, Pete, same as Keane, like a just student of the game who just understood how to play. Did you boys? I'm assuming you went to Berber, but Ollie, do you have anyone else you thought about potentially?
Yeah, Not really. It was always with Berber for me. I love the story at training. I'm not quite sure where I heard it, where he used to just play at the back in training. He'd just play like centre half and just dribble past everybody and score every training session. That's all he'd do. And you just think, that's my striker.
Yeah.
And Pete, do you have any tempted by anyone else?
I genuinely didn't even think about anyone else. He's one of the ones that I just put him in straight away. I didn't contemplate. There was never ever going to be anyone other than him. Best first touch I think I've seen at Spurs, especially out of the air. Unbelievable.
The turn for Man United, even though it wasn't for Spurs, was just that touch.
Oh, United again.
Oh, bloody United.
But it was
All we ever talk
unbelievable,
about is
wasn't it?
Man United.
You're just the media, mate. You and them. You can't fool us. You can't trick us. We know it's all a hoax.
This is why you're getting sacked off the pod, mate.
like my namesake. I did see quite a funny one on Twitter the other day that they've started calling them the clowns of '92, which did make me chuckle a little bit. Being their media influence is so great. But anyway, I suppose to summarise the six-a-side segment, we need to run through the final team. So we have in goal Aurelio Gomez, who is the first player to make it into two teams out of three so far. So he's doing really well. Worst 11 and the trickiest 11. So, make of that what you will. At the back, we've got Benoit Astor-Koto and YP Lee to just terrorise attackers, I should say. And sorry?
Benny's in two teams, isn't he? Isn't Benny getting the Hampton team as well?
He may have done, to be fair.
I think he is.
Yeah. He was also the first player to receive the prestigious Team of Legends today with a full house of votes. So well done, Benny. And
I'm telling you, there's two. I'm telling you, there's others.
We'll see. We will see, Peter, won't we? Maybe the viewers can let us know. In midfield, we've got a pair that will never lose the ball ever. In Adel Tarapt and Tanguy Ndombele. And then up front, we've got Berbatov. He's just going to put everything away and just control everything with no problems whatsoever. So there you have it. The flashiest / most skillful, are you not entertained six-a-side team.